Hi, welcome to Driving TV, and I hope you are well. Let's talk about learn to drive and to pass a driving test. Let's talk about your journey to learn to drive and to pass a driving test. Let's start the lesson. Firstly, let's talk about why you need to learn to drive. So what's the reason? Why do you need to learn to drive? Do you have to learn to drive? Or can you live without learn to drive? First of all, I want you to get that answer to why you need to learn to drive. And why is it important to get the answer for that? Is because the journey of learning is not going to be easy. You're going to have bad days, you're going to have challenging days. And for you to overcome those days, you need to know why you started in the first place. If it's important for you to learn to drive, hard days will become easier because you know why you started, you know what you are getting. So it is important for you to know why you need to learn to drive. The answer to why is so much important. I think if you get that importance in your head, the journey of learning and passing will become easier. Trust me, I know, because I've done few things in life, and I know that when I start the journey of doing something new, if I make it important why I need to learn this, the journey becomes easy because I know what I'm going to achieve. I know what this is going to give me. I know what this journey is going to give me at the end. If at the end the gift is important and the gift is valuable, then the journey will become easy. Okay? So why do you need to learn to drive? What is this driving going to give you? What the license going to give you? Why do you need to learn? Get that in your head. Make sure you get a clear vision what the driving is going to give you. The driving is going to give you many different opportunities. It's going to open many doors for you. You could go to wherever you want, whenever you want. You could go to visit your family, visit your friends. You could go to work. You could help your business, whatever business that you do. Take your children to wherever they want to go, maybe football, maybe basketball, maybe swimming, wherever they want to go. So this driving is going to help you in many different ways in your life, and it's going to improve your life in many different ways because you know how to drive and you have a license. I want you to think in your head, is this driving license going to be any value to your life? Because if it is going to be valuable, and if you put the license maybe 2 miles away, the journey from here to 2 miles, it could be difficult, but it will overcome. It will make it easier to reach that 2 mile at the end. Why? Because you know at the end of it, I'm getting the license. So as you are walking or running or jogging to the license, if it's difficult for you, if you are tired, you'll pick yourself up and motivate yourself knowing at the end of it, I'm going to get my license. And that's how it has to be. Why did you start in the first place? Because my destination over there is my license. Because if you just start knowing, oh, I need my driving license, because everyone gets it, I'm just going to go and try to see if I could learn and pass. If you have that mentality, halfway you might give up. Why? Because it wasn't important for you in the first place. Mentally, if you're not ready, the parts of your body is not going to work as they should. Okay? So the foundation of you learning to drive and to passing is to answer to the question why you are starting in the first place. Make sure you know why this driving is important to you. Once you know, that's when you start the journey. So make sure the foundation is strong. You know exactly why you are learning and why you need to pass the test. Now, secondly, we need to find a good driving instructor. Now, the best way to find a good driving instructor is to ask your friends and your family who they've learned with and get recommendation. So if they've learned from someone, they would know whether they had a good driving instructor or not. Or ask in your social media, ask in Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Ask someone, ask your friend, do they know anybody in your town who is a good driving instructor? Best way to get a good driving instructor is by recommendation. If you know somebody who they've learned with and if they know they had a good driving instructor, that's the best way. Now, sometimes good instructors are busy, okay? You might have to wait for weeks or maybe a few months. If I were you, I would do that. It's better than just getting someone who you don't get along with, who's no good for you, and you just waste your time and money and then move on anyway, okay? So if I were you, I would wait. So if someone recommends to you a good driving instructor, you give them a call, and if they say they're busy for a few months, I would wait. I would say to them, please book me a lesson when you are free, and from then onwards we will start our lesson. Whether it's a few weeks away, few months away, I would do that if I were you. Don't rush and be patient. This learning journey, I just want you to learn the process, enjoy the process, and be patient in the process. Nothing comes easy. No good things comes to your plate easily. You have to go through the process to learn to drive and to pass the driving test. And in anything actually in life, okay? And this driving is no different, okay? So first of all, recommendation, find a good driving instructor, and if they're busy, wait until they're free, then go with them. Then comes your theory test. Now, my recommendation is when you start to learn to drive, learn to drive as well as do the theory same time. Why? Because when you're learning, when you are reading the theory, and then when you're having driving lessons, it will make more sense what you are reading. Sometimes when you're reading, it doesn't make sense because you don't drive. You're not a driver yet. I'm not saying you shouldn't do the theory before you start to drive. Yes, of course you should do that, but I'm saying it makes it more easier, makes it more sense if you do both same time. So do the theory as well as start to learn to drive at the same time. And when it comes to driving lessons, I would say minimum 2 hours per week. So have one lesson for 2 hours every week if you can. That's the best way to learn. That's the minimum. If you're going to have more than that, then have 2 lessons, 2 hours each per week. 1 hour lessons are okay, but you don't learn much in 1 hour lessons. Why? Because by the time you start doing something, so the instructor comes to you, picks you up, goes somewhere, explain a task or a subject, and then you go and do the subject. By the time you start learning, the 1 hour is gone because they have to take you back to your address again. So hour and a half or 2 is best per lesson. Your second hour is always learning. You are learning more, because now when it comes to the theory test, the day you start to study for theory, that's when you apply for a test and book a test minimum 2 weeks away, if not whenever it's available. Okay, I know it's busy at the moment to get a test day booked, but if you don't book a test and you think that I'm going to read and I'm going to get ready, then I'm going to apply, you're just not going to do it. You're just going to leave it and think that I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it tomorrow. You're not going to push yourself. When we have a date, we know there is a test day coming up, it will push us to do more. It will push us to study more. That's how we are. Whenever we have a deadline, we work better. So if I were you, the day I start to study for theory, that's when I will apply for a test. So you know you've got a test day coming up and you will push yourself to study. So study theory, get a test day booked, and do your lesson along the way, both the theory and the learning same time. Also, when you're studying your theory, if there's a question you don't understand, you could always ask your driving instructor. So that's another good thing, doing both same time. Now, what it takes for you to become a driver, the things that you need to learn, the things that you will be learning, the things it takes for you to become a driver and to pass your driving test. You need to know a map. You need to know what is it in that you need to learn. And if I were you, I would take a course. There are many courses out there where you could take, where you learn online what the learning is all about. You learn all the theory. You learn to know all the lessons. And if I were you, I would get a course. I would buy a course. And as you know, we do a course, online course. You could join our course, which gives you everything you need to learn from day one to the day that you pass your driving test. Everything. And the course is designed in a structured, all in a systematical order, so you know what you are learning and what you will be learning. So the course gives you everything a learner needs to learn to drive and to pass the driving test. You could always join our course. If not, there are other courses out there you could join, but my advice to you would be join a course which will give you everything you need to learn. And if I were you, I would go through those lessons, I would learn all those theories. So then when I go to the lesson with my driving instructor, it makes it easier for us to learn the subject. Why? Because we already know the theory. Okay? Without a course, you learn. For example, all the things you learn in my course, you will have it online. You will have it free on YouTube. But you will be learning randomly. You don't know what the things that you need to learn. The course gives you everything in a systematical order. is designed to make it easier for learners, so you know exactly which lessons you need to learn. Go to your theory test and make sure you are fully ready for the test, and hopefully you've passed your theory. If you do fail, no problem. Just make sure you book another one and go and pass your theory. Once you've done your theory, by then, hopefully, you've already done maybe 6 or 7 weeks of driving lessons. And if you do the test any earlier, maybe 4 lessons you've already done. So now, hopefully, you know how to drive the car, you know how to stop the car, you know how to change gear, you know how to do the steering. So you now have an idea where you are going, what the driving is all about. And hopefully, the course that you have is telling you everything you need to learn to drive and to pass the driving test. Your instructor should be able to know roughly when you're going to be ready, and then he or she should advise you to book a test maybe 2, 3, 4, 5 months away, and hopefully by then you are fully ready and go to the test.